Congressman Seth, Congressman, my old friend and colleague in the Congress, Governor Brown, Senator Kiko, Senator Engel, Congressman Biz Johnson, Senator Richards, Mr. Brody, Mrs. O'Neill, the Mayor, Secretary Udall, Undersecretary Carr, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure for me to come out here and help blow up this valley and the cause of progress. But if it had no other benefit than to permit us to look at this valley and others like it across the country, where we can see the greenest and most richest earth producing the greatest and richest crops in the country, and then a mile away see the same earth and see it brown and dusty and useless, and all because there's water in one place and there isn't in another. I know of no better trip for any president or any member of the House or Senate or indeed any citizen, particularly those of us who live in the East, where water is everywhere and is a burden, to realize how very precious it is here in the western United States. This project, the Frying Pan, Arkansas, and the project in South Dakota represented 10, 20, and 30 years' effort of devoted citizens. Things do not happen, they are made to happen. And this project is the result, and our action today, of 30 years of men, some of whom have now died, who thought that this dam would help this valley. And the other point that I think has been most useful about this trip is to see how Americans can work together. We are a very independent people, 180 million, and it is hard for us to agree on any course of action. We always have some different ideas of how that course of action can be made more perfect. And yet in this case, one part of your state has been willing to help another part, because they realize that as this state does well, so does the United States. Nothing could be more disastrous for this country than for the citizens of one part of the state to feel that everything that they have is theirs, and it should not be shared with other citizens of this state. Or people from the East to say there's no benefit to us in spending our money to make this valley green. That is the way to stand still. And the way to move ahead is to realize that we are citizens of one country who can freely move from one state to another. And as one state does well, so do the others. And if one state stands still, so do all the rest. Progress represents the combined will of the American people. And only when they are joined together for action, instead of standing still and thinking that everything that had to be done has been done, it's only when they join together in a forward movement that this country moves ahead, and that we prepare the way for those who come after us, as Mr. O'Neill and others who made this project possible 20 years ago. They prepared the way for us. So I'm glad to come here, and I think it's a useful trip for any citizen and any president of the United States. And what this project also symbolizes is the state working with the federal government, the local communities working with the state. This program is unique in this area. There is no other project in the history of the United States where a state has put in such a large contribution to the development of its own resources and where the national government has joined with the state. This is a unique ceremony because this partnership is at the highest level. The amount of contribution of both is unique and special, and the benefits that will come from it are unique and special. And I think that those who took part in this and made it possible should feel the strongest sense of pride, because all those years when people in this state said it was impossible, and those who had water wanted to hug it and not make it available to all those who lived in dry areas. Many state administrations in California, including some of the most distinguished, wrestled with this problem. But I believe that all Californians will remember the leadership which your distinguished governor has given to this great cause of making water available to the people of this state. and I salute him for it. And the members of your congressional delegation who fought for this, and the members of the legislature, the House and the Senate here in California. This has brought your state to be the pioneer in the United States in the field of development and conservation of our natural resources. California in this area is number one. And it has helped make possible the San Luis Project, which joins all of us together as full and equal partners. And I hope from this great project will spread a renewed sense of commitment by all the American people so that this country in 1962 can continue to move forward. Thank you.
View behind you and across the valley.
Where does it flag?
Beyond that projection over there, Governor, and on the opposite one over here and across the valley here.
Everybody ready? You lead. Ready? 1.
You now see a helicopter flying, dropping smoke, which will be at the height of the dam itself. That is the crest height.
It's a high water right now.
Thank you.